To start, you have to push the ball with the inside towards your standing foot. When you do this, move laterally and jump lightly at the same time. Then, push the ball back the other way with your weak foot while leaving it on the ground just after touching it. Be careful not to push it too hard because otherwise you will not be able to finish the combo. Push it just hard enough so it doesn't get stuck in your feet. At the same time, pass your foot around the ball while keeping support on your weak foot. It's like a sort of inside step over, except you keep your leg up. And finally, you take the ball back as far from your standing foot as possible with the sole to push it in the other direction a third time. With this combo, you will not eliminate the defender, but on the other end, you will destabilize him. So it will give you only 1 or 2 fractions of a second to execute something. After having done this combo, you can go left or right, or do another one, or even do the same one again. It is up to you. As with all dribbling skills, it must be done as quickly as possible. But for this one in particular, you should always try to go even faster. And the reason is simple. You want that 1. The defender to be confused. 2. They cannot in any case anticipate what you are going to do next. 3. Let him stay out of your safety distance and not throw himself at you. Last thing to remember is that it is actually done stationary and not in motion. Anyway, all steps gives that. To start, you have to push the ball to the side of your strong foot to prepare for the skill. Then you have to push the ball with your sole towards the support side. Chain directly with a step over using the same foot to be able to position yourself for the next step. This step over is not made to feint the defender, so no need to accentuate it. And finally, get the ball back with an inside cut made with your weak foot. Make sure to do a body feint at the same time to further deceive the defender. One tip I have for you is that you can also start the skill with the inside of the foot instead of the sole. There is no better or worse version, both work. Try them out and choose your preference. Together, it should be like this. The one and only step is to do a fake shot while doing a Cruyff turn. A tip for this is to lift your arm and your leg to really pretend you're going to hit the ball at the same time you're doing the Cruyff turn. If you don't know how to do a Cruyff turn, watch our video, the top 5 basic football skills. Together, it will look like this. To begin, you will have to push the ball backwards in order to make the defender believe that you are blocked, but also to move him in the same direction. Then, you will suddenly stop the ball and quickly observe the position of the defender. And finally, if the defender has completely followed you and has left enough space for an acceleration where it was previously, then you accelerate as fast as possible in that direction. Together, it gives that. To begin with, the ball should be rolling in front of you because this skill is mainly done in motion. Then, when you get to the ball, you will have to bring it backwards using the sole. Make sure you jump and turn your body at the same time you made that touch. Right after that, you have to make another touch of the sole to bring the ball towards you and push it forward. Make sure you push it hard enough so it doesn't stain your legs, but not too hard either so that you lose it. Together, it gives that. To start, you have to position your standing foot just next to the ball as you see it on the screen. Then you have to lift the ball with your strong foot using the tip of your foot, really taking it under the ball. Make sure when doing this to bend your knees slightly to be able to steer your ball once you hit it. And finally, to be able to direct the ball, you have to stretch your leg by directing it towards where you want the ball to go. It is also at this moment that you release your standing foot to be able to get away. One tip I have for you is to really kick the ball when you do it. When you learn the skill, you have to take it slow to fully understand the movement. But then, when you master it, you have to hit the ball instead. 1, to be able to put more power when you do it, and 2, so that the defender cannot anticipate what you are going to do. All this gives that. Firstly, the ball should be rolling because this skill is usually done while moving. Know that you can also do it standing still. Then you should touch the ball with the sole to bring it back towards you. Make sure to jump lightly at the same time and turn your body to make the next move. Right after that, you will have to make a touch behind the standing leg. Make sure you push the ball far enough so that the defender can't get the ball back. The whole thing gives that. To start, to make this skill, you will have to be mainly movement, even if it is slowly. Cr7 did it a lot of times when slowing down, so take his example. Then you will have to roll the ball forward and to the side using the sole. And finally, do our Cr7 chop to eliminate the defender and accelerate away. Together, it gives that. To start, you have to bring the ball back to you using your strong foot. Then, you have to push the ball behind your standing foot to recover it afterwards, so don't push it too hard. And finally, you have to retrieve it with your weak foot to push it forward. Together, it should be like this.
Kylian Mbappé.
Oh oui.
Oh oui, l'erreur du gardien, certes, mais il le place là où il le désire, ce ballon. Kylian Mbappé pour son premier doublé sous le maillot blanc aujourd'hui.
To begin with, you will have to be moving because this combo is not done mainly stationary. The faster you go with the ball, the better. Keep in mind that it will be harder though. And also know that you don't have to start with the sole. After that, you will have to make a fake touch to prepare yourself for the next move, which is the Stepover done with the strong foot to destabilize the defender. Make sure you do it as quickly as possible as always. Then you will have to follow it up with a body feint made with your weak foot to make the defender believe that you are going to go on this side. Know that for this feint you will have to accentuate the movement by really acting as if you were going to go that way, but really. So use your upper body to trick him even more. And finally, end it up with the outside cut made forward at 45 degrees to eliminate the defender. Together, it gives that. To begin, you will have to drive your ball towards the defender to get as close as possible to him. Then you will have to make a fake touch towards the defender and lift your foot right after to prepare for the next step, as you see it on the screen. Right after that is the body feint done on the side. This feint must be done super quickly just after the fake touch, and it aims to destabilize the defender rather than making him go to one side. So no need to lower your body as much as possible. For this feint, the speed of execution will be more important than your amplitude. Focus on completing all the steps as quickly as possible. After that, it's an inside touch made on the side to avoid the defender who probably throw himself out. Follow with a touch made forward to eliminate the defender completely. Be careful, as I said, this combo must be done as quickly as possible in all its stages apart from the approach. The tip number one that I would like to give you is to wait until you are close enough to the defender to make the skill. You can't do it too close because you can lose the ball, or too far because you won't eliminate him. To do this correctly, you will have to wait until he is at the limit of your safety distance. Your safety distance is the distance at which the defender cannot touch the ball under any circumstances. So when he reaches the limit of this distance, he will think he can touch it, but will not be able to. This is the ideal distance to perform any skill move, but it is also very risky because if you get a little closer, you can lose the ball. So timing is very important. And finally, tip number two is that you can do it stationary too. The only difference when it is made on the move is that the body feint is accentuated to really make the defender believe you are going to the other side. Keep that in mind. Together, it should be like this. To begin with, bring the ball back to you with the sole. Then lift it with your standing foot to about the height of your hips. At the same time, turn your body towards where you want to go and hit the ball using the outside of your foot but the part near the heel. Make sure to hit the ball hard enough so that it goes over your opponent, but not too hard for you to get it back right after. Together, it gives that. One tip for this is to lift your arm and leg up to really pretend you're going to kick the ball and then do the Cr7 chop. If you don't know how to do the Cr7 chop, watch our video on our top 5 Cr7 skills part 1. Together, it should be like this. To begin, you shouldn't move towards the defender, but rather at an angle to him. The goal of doing this is to moving in the desired direction to then wrong foot him. Then, when you are close enough to the defender, you will have to make a feint with your strong foot to make him believe that you are going to push the ball in the same direction as you see it on the screen. Right after that, instead of pushing the ball again, you will stop it with the outside of your foot. Then the most difficult step of this skill is that on the same step that you have stopped the ball, you will have to start again by pushing it with the outside of your foot forward. I insist that this be done on the same step so that the combo is as effective as it can be. To do this, you will need to make sure you push off your standing foot when you leave. Also, make sure that when you push the ball, you push it far enough away from your body to eliminate the defender completely. And finally, a tip that I have for you to achieve this perfectly is to slow down before the skill to accelerate again after. So when you approach the defender, slow down, do the combo and accelerate away. In addition to making it easier to do it, you will have also a considerable surprise effect. Keep that in mind. Together, it should be like this. Start by doing a step over with the leg you want to finish the skill with. This step over is to create confusion, not to make a feint, so no need to accentuate it. However, as always, do it as quickly as possible. Then you will have to move sideways and jump at the same time to get ready for the next step. Note that the foot that you did the step over with at the start is still in the air. At the same time, you should push the ball with your foot which was supporting at the start towards the one which is in the air using the inside of the foot. Be careful, it is at this moment that you feint the defender by making him believe that you are going to dribble him with this inside touch. You gotta make sure you hit the ball hard so it doesn't stay in between your legs after the second touch. It is very important. And finally, just after that, you have to push the ball in the other direction with your foot which was in the air to finish the skill. A tip that I have for you is that if after the skill you notice that the ball hasn't gone far enough, it's because you didn't push it hard enough on the first touch. Keep that in mind. All this gives that. Start by rolling the ball forward on the side of your supporting foot using your sole. Then put your leg in front of the ball to get ready for the Rabona. And finally, pick up the ball back with the outside of your foot behind your supporting leg as you see it on the screen. Together, it should be like this. The first step is to bring the ball towards you with the sole. Then you will have to pass the ball to your teammate using the inside of your foot. To do this correctly, make sure you jump at the same time to give yourself momentum but also power to the pass. Not that my 2 feet are off the ground. Together, it gives that. To start, you have to use this part of the body to do the chest hold. It is between the chest and the shoulder where there is a gap where the ball will land perfectly. Pay attention to my bent arm, which is used to create the gap for the ball to land. Don't just use the middle of the chest that you would use for a traditional chest touch. Another thing to know is that you don't have to bend down very low like Zlatan to do it. But you will still have to lean back by bending your knees slightly like this. It's enough. To get used to and master this movement, throw the ball in the air with your hands and lean back at the same time as the ball touches your body to cushion and control it. Then, lean more or less back if the ball doesn't stay completely still. If the ball goes too far backwards, lift your bust slightly. Or if you feel like it's about to fall forward, then lean a little more back. Once you have mastered it with your hands, then practice juggling before doing it. When you can do it by juggling naturally, then you will be ready to do it in a real game. Altogether, it gives that. To start, you will have to move towards the defender. The faster you go, the more effective this skill move will be. But, of course, the more difficult it will become. Try to go as fast as possible depending on the situation, because your momentum will allow you to eliminate the defender more easily. Then, depending on the speed at which you are going, you will have to make an outside cut forward more or less far from the defender. The faster you go, the farther the cut will be from the defender to prevent him from touching the ball when you make the inside one. Timing is very important for this skill. After doing the outside cut, you will have to continue on the next step with the inside one also made forward. Very important that this be done on the step that follow the outside cut because you want to play on the element of surprise and the speed of execution. And finally, the tip I have for you is to go as fast as possible to eliminate the defender with ease. Not to approach him slowly, then try to go fast. It won't work as effectively. All this together gives that. To start and prepare for the skill, you should put your standing foot just in front of the ball as you see it on the screen. Be careful, you don't try to fake the defender with this step, so keep your butt straight and don't accentuate the gesture. Immediately after, push the ball with the inside of the foot forward at 45 degrees to prepare for the step over. Make sure you don't push it too hard. Know that you must also jump and move sideways slightly to chain perfectly. Then you have to do a step over with the same foot with which you push the ball at the start to make the defender believe that you are going to exit in that direction. I insist that you do all these steps as fast as possible. And finally, to finish this combo, you will have to accelerate forward with what was your supporting foot at the start to leave the defender on the spot. All this gives that.